We're parked right here at the start of the easement road. That's Highway 14. We came out of Mountain Grove, so we took Highway 95 to the south. Highway 95 or Highway 5? I don't remember. We took whatever road that is coming south out of Mountain Grove all the way to Highway 14. Then we went east. And this is the easement road where it comes off of Highway 14. It is early springtime, so we do have a few leaves out on the trees, which is great, but they're definitely not fully leafed out yet. All these tracts out here were logged fairly recently, within the last 1 to 2 years. This particular property actually looks really good, this tract that we're headed out to see here. I haven't been out this way for a while, and actually this property was leased out, which we do that from time to time. There happened to be a gentleman who was very familiar with it, and for whatever reason he didn't want to purchase it, but he did want to really spend some time in the area, so we went ahead and leased it to him. Take a look at where we are here. Okay, so coming on into the property. And I'm going to park right here and get my bearings. Okay, so I've got my bearings now. When you see those old buildings, you're super close. Stay to the right and go about 50 feet and you'll see the property on the left side. There's actually a survey marker there that's marking the southeast corner of the property. So as we look north along this power line, the land is on the left. And let's hop out and have a look here. So fully surveyed, which is pretty awesome. Here's the south boundary here, looking west. So there are the buildings on the old homestead. This obviously would have been part of the old homestead. This would have been part of the yard, and there may well be some foundations or whatnot here. I mean, if you poke around with the metal detector, you're gonna find some cool stuff, I'm sure. I've been out here in the winter. I've never been out here in the summer, early summer right now, I guess. But I do know that this has a pond on it, and I was really curious to see if that was holding any water. So all these tracts out at Hawks Roost were logged to some extent within the last couple years. This tract really didn't look too bad. I'm anxious to see it from the air with the drone. I know there's a good mix of timber because there's some nice pine trees and cedars right here on the south side. And there's the pond. So this pond needs some cleanup for sure, but it's holding water. I mean, it's low, whoops, but there's water in there, so that's a really good sign. And there obviously has been nothing done to this pond in decades. If this were cleaned up, this was a nice pond back in the day. That's a big dam that they built on there. So if this were cleaned up, I think it'd be very usable again. And like I said, it's holding water already, but it could hold quite a bit more. Large grove of cedars there and different trees. I'm not going to walk much, but we will do a drone video so you can see how this is situated. Fairly good access. I mean, we're not far at all off of Highway 14. We've got that the buildings from the old homestead right next to the property. So like I said, obviously this was part of the homestead. Big pine tree there. So pretty interesting tract. If you're looking for something with a little history, that's great. Obviously having power on site is pretty awesome as well, even if you don't need it. It's good to have it. And this goes way up. The power line curves to the left, and the property is on the left, even once you get up there. So pretty good access. I mean, you're going to want a truck or an SUV either way on these gravel roads. Nice tract. Tract 28 at Hawks Roost in Douglas County, Missouri.